make this a pretty quick show. This is not going to be like a Monday night show. But I'm going to start doing some things, sometime from my phone, sometime from my studio at home, sometime at church, wherever I'm at. If I'm on the road, which I'm about to be on the road quite a bit coming up, promoting my book and everything. We talked about that last night. If you were there on the show on Rumble or on YouTube, by the way, we appealed it, and it says it's going to take up to 30 days. And the last time I got a strike like that, it took me about, I don't know, several days, over a week, almost 3 weeks before it got cleared. This thing was cleared by the next day. So it was cleared around 2 o'clock today. And so that show is back up on YouTube from last night. So if you have not watched last night, go back and watch it. And even if you did watch it was so much stuff, you probably want to go back and watch it again. And then hit that like button throughout this show. Anytime you ever see us on the air, always smash the like button. Never watch a show where you don't smash that like button, because nothing, I mean nothing, helps us better to put us in front of new people. And we're seeing new people every single week joining the Big Picture family. And I can't do anything about that. It's on you. And you guys are the Big Picture family, and you just don't know how much I appreciate it. So if this show is a blessing to you, smash that like button, and we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. So I want to hit a couple of things that when I saw this, I was just like, wow. Because, we talk a lot about AI here, and I want to show you what Tom Hanks came out today and said. This is, of course, courtesy of our good friend from End Time Headlines, Ricky Scaparo, on his great website that he has. Let's see if I can get this to be a little bit more viewable here. Like I said, I threw this together at the last minute. That ain't what I wanted to do. Hold up there, Tom. Come back to me, Tom. There we go. So, like I said, I'm throwing this together. So this is what Tom Hanks said this week. It was revealed that he said this in an interview. Tom Hanks says AI is so advanced. Now listen to me. He's saying the quiet thing out loud. So this means that actors have been knowing this for a long time. It's so advanced that he could star in Hollywood films long after he is dead. This is unreal. This is from the Daily Star. As you can see, the Daily Star, Hanks, 66 years old. Listen to what he says. Tom Hanks says artificial intelligence is now so advanced that he could be starring in new films when he is dead. The double Oscar winner said Hollywood stars and their lawyers are scrambling to work out how to deal with the rise of technology, which could see actors digitally recreated until Kingdom Come. According to the Daily Star, Hanks, 66, said he predicted the rise of AI in the film industry 20 years ago. Now, look, we talk about programming and what they do to program us and so forth, but watch what they're learning themselves as they're being a part of these movies. And you'll remember this movie immediately. He predicted the rise of AI in the film industry 20 years ago when he was making the 2004 computer animated The Polar Express. It comes out every year at Christmas time. And he realized there was a potential to digitally recreate actors on the big screen. But he said he could have never predicted how much of an impact it actually could have. Hank said actors and their representatives are trying to figure out the legal ramifications of digital recreation. Notice that word, digital recreation. Digital recreation. Under current laws, he could star in films from beyond the grave. As he told the Adam Buxton podcast, quote, there has always been the lingering. The first time we did a movie that had a huge amount of our own data locked into a computer, literally what we looked like, was a movie called The Polar Express, which we made back around the year 2000. We saw this coming. We saw that there was going to be the ability to take zeros and ones from inside a computer and turn it into a face and a character. That has only grown 1 billion-fold since then, and we see it everywhere. I can tell you, and this is still quoting him saying this, I can tell you that there's discussions going on in all of the guilds, the acting guilds and the unions, and all the agencies, and all of the legal firms in order to come up with the legal ramifications of my face and my voice and everybody else's being our intellectual property. What is a bona fide possibility right now? If I wanted to, I could get together and pitch a series of 7 movies that would star me in them, in which I would be 32 years old from now until kingdom come. Anybody, he's still quoting Tom Hanks, can now recreate themselves at any age by way of AI or deep fake technology. I could be hit by a bus tomorrow and that's it. But performances can go on and on and on. Outside of the understanding that is being done by AI or deep fake, there'll be nothing to tell you that it's not me and me alone. And it's going to have some degree of lifelike quality. Wow. I mean, he literally says right there, outside of the understanding, he said, if I got hit by a bus and died today, I could continue acting for generations to come as an actor of myself at any age. He chose 32 years old. He said, I could literally right now, with as is technology, pitch a series of 7 movies. Most movies roll out every 2 years. He's 66 years old. He's saying I could pitch 7 movies of a 32-year-old Tom Hanks starring in all 7 movies that would roll out every 2 to 3 years. He's 66. He's realizing he'll probably be gone or close to being gone, certainly not able to act in any kind of action movie. But he says outside of the understanding, outside of the people that's involved in the product, the production of the product, knowing that it's done by AI or deep fake, there will be nothing to tell you that it's actually not me, that it's not me. This is why we talk about AI every single week on the Big Picture Live, because it is at such an exponential growth right now that it's almost become a parody. People have almost just they're just laughing it off and just thinking, oh, what's going to happen next with AI? Ladies and gentlemen, Skynet, Terminator, and all this is not a fear-mongering channel, but the reality is this: it is coming. It is here. If you have not hit that like button, hit that like button. I'm only going to be on here for a few more minutes, but we really, really, really need you to hit that like button. Smash that like button now. I don't even know how to get it back up here. I had it earlier. There it is right there. Smash that like button. Whoop, come down here. All right. So watch this. If you hadn't hit that like button, do it now. But I'm going to show you one other thing too. Just a couple little, every day I just do a search, and you guys can do that on your own too. Just go to news sites, just search for AI in the news or something like that. And it just keeps coming up every single week, every single day. Bomb in a China shop. Why are we saying bomb in a China shop? Because, you talk about bull in a China shop. This article is called Bomb in the China Shop. AI to wipe out jobs. Watch this, create election uncertainties. Congress hears. Goes on to Washington, D.C. Artificial intelligence will drive massive disruptions in the American job sector and contribute in much more fraught election cycles as new platforms allow for increased manipulation of voters. Congress has heard the explosion of popularly available AI tools like ChatGPT will profoundly affect society as early as next year, experts and senators said during a May 16th. That's today, right? Yep, today. May 16th hearing on the Senate committee. Now, look, watch here. Subcommittee Chair Richard Blumenthal, Democrat from Connecticut, referred to the proliferation of AI as a bomb in a China shop. Now, I'm going to show you something from him that's going to blow your mind. Warning that the looming new industrial revolution, remember, that is what Klaus Schwab said. Klaus Schwab has written his second book after the Great Reset, was called The Fourth Industrial Revolution. And in the book, The Fourth Industrial Revolution, he says this will be the final one, and it will be AI and technology. Much like the world was changed with the Industrial Revolution. Thank you for that super chat, Malbing. Thank you so much. Boy, I'm sorry I mispronounced your name, but thank you so much for that. That is such a blessing that you would give us that super chat. You just don't know what that means to us. Wow, that was a big one, $50. My goodness, I got to throw that one up there, man. What a blessing. a $50 super chat. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That is huge. So let me show you something here about Blumenthal. He's the one that opened up the meeting, but watch this. He didn't just open up the meeting. He did something pretty interesting. Watch this right here and listen to this.
And now for some introductory remarks.
Too often, we have seen what happens when technology outpaces regulation. The unbridled exploitation of personal data, the proliferation of disinformation, and the deepening of societal inequalities. We have seen how algorithmic biases can perpetuate discrimination and prejudice, and how the lack of transparency can undermine public trust. This is not the future we want.
If you were listening from home, you might have thought that voice was mine and the words from me. But in fact, that voice was not mine. The words were not mine. And the audio was an AI voice cloning software trained on my floor speeches. The remarks were written by ChatGPT when it was asked how I would open this hearing.
Did you get that? Mind-boggling. Without his permission. He did not have to give it his permission. Number one, it'd been freaky enough if he did give permission. Without giving his permission, someone, maybe a staff member or something, went to ChatGPT and typed a question. Blumenthal is going to open up a meeting on AI and the concerns he has over AI. Can you analyze previous speeches of his, recreate his voice, and give an opening monologue in his voice of how he would open that meeting? And ChatGPT, within seconds, ladies and gentlemen, created, mimicked perfectly his voice, Senator Blumenthal's voice, Richard Blumenthal's voice, and he was able to display why he's concerned and why this committee was meeting about AI. He just literally sat and heard his own self, not just his own voice, somebody pretending to be his voice. It was his voice. It was actually his voice, undistinguishable between his voice and the AI. And then to hear the opening remarks that were legitimate opening remarks that he would typically say just like that on his behalf. So what that means is he did not even have to be there. And AI knows that. AI is already at the place where they know they can run the world. They already know that. They know that internally. And of course, I don't know if this is going to work because this crazy website here, this will be the last thing I show you before we go off, has so many ads on it. I can't stand these that have so many ads on them. But they won't let me play the video without the ads. But this is from Fox News. But this, I don't know if you heard about this, but this was Joe Rogan. And I certainly don't endorse Joe Rogan, but most people know who Joe Rogan is. Same thing happened to him, and I'm going to see if this will work. And I'm telling you, I'm going ahead and telling you right now, there may be some language here. I will try to catch it in time if there is, but just understand I don't endorse this. But I just want to show you how scary this is.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first episode of the Joe Rogan AI Experience. I'm your host, Joe Rogan, or at least that's what this AI model thinks I sound like. Let me tell you, folks, this is some next level stuff we've got going on here today. Every single word of this podcast has been generated with the help of ChatGPT, the cutting-edge AI language model developed by OpenAI. I am not the real Joe Rogan. Let me repeat it once more. I am not Joe Rogan, and the guests are not the people they portray. This is purely fiction, just for fun, so don't go around making little clips for your TikToks and make the world believe I said things I never said. Nothing in this podcast should be taken as said by the real people they portray. This is purely for entertainment purposes and an experience showcasing the amazing advancements in AI technology. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into this AI-generated world. Let's get weird, folks. It's time to welcome our first guest to the show. And I've got to say, this is a big one. We've got none other than the CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, joining us today. Sam's been at the forefront of the AI.
So fake Joe Rogan. Did that not, listen, I don't know if you listen to Joe Rogan or not, but you probably know his voice. Did that not sound just like him? He made it very clear this was not him. And let me tell you what else he goes on to do. This fake AI Joe Rogan interviews the actual creator of ChatGPT. So do you understand? The AI interviews its creator. And then he goes on and interviews his special guest, none other than the founder of Apple, Steve Jobs, who's been dead for many years. They cloned his voice. I do not have that audio here, but you can find it. He interviews a dead man, and it is his voice. This is our world. This is our world. This is our world. And I'm going to tell you, it wasn't long ago. When I say it wasn't long ago, I'm talking about it was not even just a few years ago that people would read things in the book of Revelation that would talk about, people not being able to buy or sell without taking a mark and worshiping this beast and all this. People couldn't imagine how in the world can a world ever do that. But I want to remind you, go back and read your Bible. And by the way, join us, shameless plug here, join us on Bible study nights every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. I'm teaching verse by verse the book of Revelation. If you didn't know that, join me right here on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. live and for the teaching of the Bible. But I want to tell you something. One of the things that we're about to get into is the mark of the beast. We're at that point in the teaching. And the Bible says that when the whole world accepts this mark, what convinces them to take the mark is that there was an image created. And listen to me, it's in your Bible. An image was created of the Antichrist, but it wasn't alive. But the false prophet somehow causes the image of the beast to speak. And when the image of the beast speaks, the whole world falls in love with that religion and begins to worship the Antichrist. That is deep fake AI technology written from a man living on a volcanic island, ostracized for his faith, named John, over 2,000 years ago. And here we are. We're the only generation that will ever be able to say that they can understand that fully of how an image begins to speak. That's AI. Thank you for joining me on this just random, flying off the hip night of just covering a couple of things about AI. And don't forget to hit that like button, share, subscribe, and go back and watch last night's Monday night show if you didn't get a chance to watch it. Help us get those numbers back up because we were blocked for almost 24 hours, and that hurt us on the views. We need to beat that algorithm. So go share it. Thank you for joining us. And no matter where if I'm at home, I'm on phone. If I'm in another state, another city, I always going to remind you on the big picture, we ain't woke, but we certainly are awake. Love you all. See you next time on The Big Picture.